Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. Now, there are people out there who are aware of the ever-changing world of retail. The importance... Sorry, bear with me. This will make sense in a moment. The importance of, well, where the market lies. Where buying strategies of clients change and morph over time, where quality and immediacy of delivery and all that kind of nonsense is important. You see, Big Finish are trying something new. The fourth Doctor box sets have been released every year, basically from January to either August or September, depending on the run, at the rate of one a month. Now, little me, in his little stampy foot kind of a way, used to get a little bit miffed when the 4-part stories were split across 2 discs and I had to wait a month, I know, a whole month, for the next instalment of the story. Oh, how I'd get cross and stamp my foot at the fact that I had to wait for some narrative to unfold. That's what we used to do all the time. There was a program on the TV. What you'd do is you'd watch an episode, and then you'd wait a week and watch another episode. There'd be a cliffhanger. It was to bring you back. That was the importantness of it all. That's not a real word, is it? Yes, importantness. So, that's the world I was in. But in this year, 2018, and that could be the first time I think I've said it out loud, Big Finish are bringing us something different. Yes, you can still buy the 4th Doctor audios one at a time, once every month. 7.1 January, 7.2 February, 7.3 March, 7.4 April. That's how it works. Yeah? But they've also tried something new. And the thing that they have tried is a box set. Yes, you and I can own all of the audios from January right through to April in one easy to condense, easy to consume, easy to listen to boxed set. Have this box set because we love the 4th Doctor so much. I will be reviewing right here all 4 of the stories. However, I will also be releasing them one at a time, my reviews, so that people who are buying them every month individually can listen to the reviews individually. It's only fair. It's what I did for the 10th Doctor box set, and I hope you don't mind. So that's the end of this introduction. But in a moment, I'll be talking about the very first episode, the very first story, Sons of Kaldor.
8 out of 10 listeners who expressed a preference say they prefer the Tin Dog podcast.
We certainly do over here at Staggering Stories.
.net.
The Sons of Kaldor. Synopsis. Finding themselves in a seemingly deserted spaceship on an alien world, the Doctor and Leela stumble onto some familiar foes. The Vok robots from the planet Kaldor and something else, something outside, trying to get in. Reviving the robot's Kaldorian commander from hibernation, the travellers discover that they have found themselves in the middle of a civil war. The ship was hunting the Sons of Kaldor, an armed resistance group working with alien mercenaries to initiate regime change on their home world. But now the Sons of Kaldor may have found them. The Doctor and Leela will have to pick a side or die.
There are intruders in the medical unit.
So welcome to the first of Series 7's boxed set. Release 7.1, The Sons of Kaldor, is by Andrew Smith. And everyone knows how much I look forward to a decent Andrew Smith story. So it'll come as no surprise that I've listened to this and enjoyed the hell out of it. Well, it was a no-brainer, wasn't it? I mean, let's look at it on paper. It's a Doctor, 4th Doctor and Leela story. It's got the Robots of Death, that's the robots from the Robots of Death, in it. It doesn't take place at any point with any of the Kaldor audios, because that would just confuse matters. There's been Robophobia, there's been other Doctor Who spin-offs, but the robots themselves are a creature unlike any other Doctor Who creature. You see, they're not evil. They're not monsters. But they can be used for evil. They are tools. They are so much more than, say, a washing machine or a Hoover. They have catchphrases. Do not throw arms at me. And a wonderfully monotonous way of speaking. Some people have robophobia and are frightened of robots. But here we have a whole new world. Something in our toy box to play with that we've not quite done before. You see, they've got positronic brains. Brains very much like the robots in Asimov. Nobody's quite sure what a positronic brain is, but it's one of those things that gets mentioned in sci-fi time and time again, so much so that you start going, oh, it must be a real thing. It's not. It's just something that sounds good. I think it's the sort of brain that Data's got in Star Trek. Now, in real life, things go wrong, things break. That's the world we're going to be looking at when we've got automatic cars. But they'll be the closest we have to the robots. They will try and obey our every command without killing anyone. The laws of robotics, you know, that must defend yourself unless you're going to harm a human, you can't harm a human, you must do what humans say, all that business. Well, that's all fine, all well and good, but they're backwards. You see, it's going to be so much easier to build a robot that could kill people. Yes, they'll call them drones or something, but basically, a robot killing machine is so much more likely and so much easier to build than a robot lifesaver. Hello, machine off Robot Wars, why don't you just go over there and hurt people? Okay, unquestioning. Alright, I want you to be aware of what a person is, I want you not to hurt them, I want you to look after them, I want you to keep an eye out for everyone. What do you mean that's a lot more complicated than just flailing an axe around? And so on. The laws of robotics are the sort of thing that's kept sci-fi in bread. But it's not true. They're just not realistic. But of course in sci-fi that's fine. So, in this story we have the one thing that would make those work. Limiters. And the whole of the positronic brain is designed to keep the limiters in check. But I don't want to go into any more depth than that, because that would be a spoiler. And I'm not in the business of spoilers. What I am in the business of saying is that this is a cracking story. I like the robots, and we know for a fact that this world needs to be revisited. I'd love the same sort of setup, but with the 5th Doctor, Tegan, Nyssa, Adric, all coming back years later to find out what happened to the characters therein. So, the beginning of a great box set, or the first release, the January 2018 single release. It's your choice, but I know either way you'll want to buy it. Next up will be the Crowmarsh experiment, either next on this recording, or more likely, next month. Either way, for now, be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. Doctor Who, The 4th Doctor Adventures. The Sons of Kaldor.
Doctor?
Well.
Oh, it is one of the mechanical men.
Yes, certainly a Kaldor robot.
There are intruders in the medical unit.
How many?
2 life readings.
What is that? Who is there? Ah! Let go! Let go of me!
You must not strike the hatch.
Why not? There is someone on the other
You
side!
must be silent.
You're intruders.
Please, there's no need to be afraid.
Keep back.
Don't you realize something has gone very wrong here?
If they come through that door, I will not run. I will face them. If they want a fight, they will have one.
I do not want to die.
Big Finish. We love stories.
Welcome back to a Tin Dog podcast. Now, if you've bought the box set, you're listening to this review straight after the last one. I've had a little bit of a time out in order to listen to the Crowmarsh experiment. However, if you're listening to this 1 month at a time, welcome to February's release of the 4th Doctor Series 7, story number 2, the Crowmarsh experiment. Now, this one is what they used to call, in old Star Trek Next Generation stories, a mind episode. In many respects, it's the sort of thing that has been done before. But you know what? In this world of Doctor Who, we've experienced things that have been done before elsewhere so many times. We give Doctor Who a pass. Because, and this is the reason, when it comes to Doctor Who, things that have been done before elsewhere haven't been done in a Doctor Who-y kind of a way. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me, and I'm the only one talking, so that's alright then. Seriously. There is an event happening on a planet, and then Leela wakes up. It's 1978, it's the outskirts of London. There's a certain doctor who isn't the Doctor, and she is part of something mundane. I don't want to spoil any more. In fact, if I've got time, I will insert the synopsis here. The Crowmarsh experiment. When attacked on an alien world, Leela falls unconscious, only to wake in another time, another place. She's in the Crowmarsh Institute on Earth in London in 1978. And everyone is calling her Dr. Marshall. They tell her the world she has known is but a fantasy, a delusion, and that this place is the one that is real. Surrounded by familiar faces and unfamiliar people, Leela knows what is true and what is false. But how can she believe when everyone around her says it's a dream? What is really happening here? So, beyond all that, we end up with a cracking tale. This is, by all measure, a Louise Jameson story. She's brilliant in this. Truly, truly spectacular. She's desperately trying to hang on to both her sanity and her credibility. And, well, not kill everyone. There are other characters, and there seems to be something else happening. Yes, it's got touches of the Matrix, but it's got touches of so many other things. So many. As to be its own creature. This background, the science fiction aspects, well, let's not bother with those, because let's face it, this story in itself is a character study. It's about what makes you human, what makes you yourself, and how much self-belief and self-determination can really win. I adored this story, and by listening to the extras and some stuff on the Big Finish podcast, it is clear that everyone involved also adored this particular tale. Nick Briggs, I believe, has managed to direct every single one of the 7th Doctor stories. If ever he was to be seen as a potential showrunner, pulling off 7 whole years' worth of Tom Baker, well, surely that means he's in charge, say, more than JNT? Now that makes you think. Well, makes me think. So, I'll fade away and I will return with the next Tom Baker story from Season 7. So until next time, or in the next few seconds, be seeing you.
It's all right. You're safe here. Just calm down.
What is this place?
What do you mean? If you could just...
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the Fourth Doctor Adventures. The Crowmarsh Experiment.
Can you hear me?
What? Where am I?
You're in room C5.
I know you.
Leela, you remember Mr. Strang from the Ministry?
He is familiar.
Leela? As I'm sure you'll appreciate, the Ministry of Defence has put a lot of time, effort, and above all, money into Project Sisyphus.
Perhaps it will be...
Sisyphus is your project. The final responsibility rests with you and Dr. Stewart. Is that clear?
None of this is clear. What are you doing? You're joking me! Get me out of here. Let me go. If we stay here, we will both die. What are you, metal monster?
Leela?
Where are we?
You know where we are.
No, I do not.
Look around you. What do you see now?
White walls, a blue floor.
And who am I?
You are the doctor.
Which doctor?
Just the doctor.
No, I really think you should stay. Security, she's still very dazed. I may need some help.
Remarkable. Good work, Dr. Stewart. Splendid. We have a lot riding on Sisyphus. The Prime Minister expects results.
Big Finish. We love stories.
Where are you taking me?
Dr. Holman thought it might be good for you to see a familiar face.
Hiya, love.
No.
Welcome back. That's if you actually went anywhere, which I'm not completely sure you did, because you're probably listening to this omnibus edition of the reviews of all of the Seventh Doctor stories. But if you're not, hello, it's nice to have you back, because you're here to listen to my description and my quick review of The Mindrunners. Now this story and the next one all fit together. John Dorney. So, if you've bought this box set for 7A, you get to experience the whole of this story, a 4-part Doctor Who story with Tom Baker. And you get to do it all in one go. And you get to be smug and happy about all of that, because let's face it, that's what we're about, that's what we love. If, however, that's not the case, then fair enough. If you're the sort of person who wants to buy one issue, one story, one half of the box set, and then wait a whole month because of a cliffhanger, then good on you. I don't have that level of self-control. I had the option, so I listened to the whole story. But of course I'll be reviewing it in the single release form. That's if I can. Here's the synopsis. It used to be fun, mind running, hopping into the heads of total strangers to see what they saw, feel what they felt. But one by one, the mind runners are dying in a wave of suicides, and no one on the planet Caldera knows why. The Doctor, Leela and Caroline arrive in the city that covers all of this dying world as it prepares to evacuate its people. And they immediately find themselves involved in a mystery. Who or what is responsible for the wave of deaths? Is it the motorised cult known as the Digitals, or the enigmatic Mr. Shift? Or did the victims attempt to run the Night Mind, the demonic consciousness of legend that's so twisted and evil that it drives mad all who touch it? The TARDIS crew are about to find out. And the thing is, beyond that, I can't tell you any more. But listening to it without hearing the synopsis, you get a very different noir feel. The place looks and feels like New York, only everyone's blue, which instantly takes you to the blue people who've appeared in the new series. It's a very, very well constructed story, but that's what we've come to expect from John Dorney. It's a great script, and particularly well acted. It also has, well, a rather identifiable voice from Blake 7, which is nice, given the 40th anniversary. But beyond that, what else can I say? Well, as it's a mystery, I don't want to tell you who it is. As a murder takes place at the beginning, that's what makes it all noir-y. It's a bit Chinatowny. It's a bit Blade Runner-y. It just kind of works. And, as a mystery, I can't say any more. The mystery obviously evolves into the next part. So with that, I'll fade away and then discuss that, either in the next few moments or next month. Be seeing you.
Oh, so sorry, young man.
Should he be that close to the edge of the platform?
No. Quick! Hey!
Careful!
Stop!
What is it? You've gone white. What happened?
Doran's dead!
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. Doctor Who, The Fourth Doctor Adventures. The Mind Runners.
He was a mind runner.
A mind runner? What's a mind runner?
Once they put this headgear on, hitch a lift in somebody else's head.
Well, any sign?
Shh, I'm concentrating. There, I got him.
Doran?
They possess them. I have experienced that. It is not good.
Mr. Eldrin?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you startled me.
Yes, I often have that effect on people.
What happened to Mr. Eldrin was appalling. It was off. The rocket will be finished on schedule, and the evacuation will happen completely as planned.
That man said evacuation. I do not think that is a good word.
Are you sure they're suicides?
We've lost half a dozen in the last week. All mind runners. Hanging themselves, shooting themselves.
I see.
Still think I'm paranoid?
Friend or foe?
What are you doing? You idiot!
Big Finish. We love stories.
Welcome to a Tin Dog Podcast. Welcome back if you've just been speaking to me a few seconds ago. However, if you've been waiting a month, hello. You see, we're now talking about the fourth story, the fourth release in the box set 7A. This is, of course, part 2, so this is where it gets confusing. This is 7A 7.4. 7.4 is a sequel to 7.3. In fact, it's a continuation of the narrative, which means you kind of need 7.3 in order to get 7.4. Does that make sense? It's got K9, that's what makes me happy. It's got Leela, that's what makes me happy. And it's got the Fourth Doctor, again, happy tick. You've got that whole noir thing. Now, admittedly, the investigation primarily existed in the first half of the story. Here's the synopsis and then we can discuss it. A killer has been uncovered, but the mystery is far from solved. The Doctor, Leela, K9 and their friends are on the run, pursued from all sides. All the clues point to one place, but getting there alive may prove impossible. Something horrific is happening on Caldera, and it's been happening for longer than anyone can possibly have realised. Now every life on the planet is at stake, bar one. The dark secret at the heart of the world is about to be revealed. Now, because it's a mystery, I can't tell you that much more about the plot, because it's a mystery, and if I tell you, it's, well, not just spoilers, it's spoilt the whole thing. It's not like knowing that such and such is somebody else's father or something like that on EastEnders. It doesn't really spoil the ongoing narrative. It would. I can't tell you who's behind everything, what lies beneath it all. No, I can't tell you any of that. But what I can do is say that it's a stormingly good completion of the story. It's very different from the first half, which is a very, very impressive thing to do. Yes, like I said last time, it does have a Chinatowny feel, but don't be distracted by that. There is something strange going on, something peculiar, something that only the Doctor and our normal crew could fix. So rather than just being odd, I'll let you hear the trailer and decide for yourself. Because as a box set experiment, nicely done. I know there'll be a 7.B box set, eventually, possibly April. So if you're listening to this in April, it might be May, so that's fine. But if you're listening to this in January, you've got a hell of a wait, haven't we? I know. So, with that, I'll fade away. Speak to you all very soon. Possibly about Blake 7, possibly about UFO, but most probably about Doctor Who. So until next time, be seeing you.
Well, has he succumbed to the nightmare? He is non-responsive.
Available now from Big Finish Productions. Doctor Who, The Fourth Doctor Adventures. The Demon Rises.
This way!
Citizens of Kaldoran, I am here to liberate you from the flesh.
Look! More of them!
It's a massacre.
He's wiping out all the digitals.
Care for none of this. How do I kill him?
We, in your government, are delighted to announce the rocket has been completed.
That does not sound good.
What's happening out there?
Oh my God!
If the evacuation is to be successful, we must all depart with the utmost haste.
I thought you'd like to know. I've got the 2 remaining targets in sight.
Well, you know what you gotta do. Why don't you just do it? We pay you enough.
He wants to murder us.
Big Finish. We love stories.
2018 brings with it 3 brilliant conventions, all held at the Derby Quad. ShadowCon 2. The UFO convention will be on June the 30th, 2018. Hooverville, the best little Doctor Who convention in the world, is on Saturday the 1st of September, while Big Finish Day is on the 3rd of November 2018. All tickets are available from the Derby Quad website. That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.